Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing Dio from Speedball Run, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So we start with the right eye over here, and we'll start with the top eyelid. So we start, just find about the middle of your page, and the eyes are just here. So it's like above halfway, and the eyes are just here. So we'll start with the right eyelid. And we'll just start with a line just here like this. Thing about the JoJo characters, even the male ones, they have like big eyelashes. So we have a diagonal line up, and then this will come across like that. And then we have those eyelashes that stick out just from here. You could do a few, you could do 3, 2, and then you can make this line just a bit thicker here. In under there then, he has his iris and his pupil. So you just do a sort of circle for the color part of his eye. Like that. And then the pupil inside. Like that. And the JoJo characters are drawn anyway with them usually shines in their eyes. So just like a circle there. And another one here. But you could do them after when you're colouring if you'd like. I'll just add them in now, just to give it a bit of character. And then under there we have the bottom eyelid. So this one just comes right underneath that iris. So we just have a little line in there, and it comes down underneath, right, nearly touches it. You can touch it if you'd like. And it comes up here, that side of that eye. And then we're going to make that thicker again. So just for eyelashes, those big JoJo eyelashes. So thicker, and maybe some of them stick out along the bottom maybe. So one here maybe, one there, and this is real thick. Right, so now we can come over and we can do the other eye. So you want to measure about an eye distance again. Just like measure with your finger, ruler, come over and start the next eye just in here. And this one goes up like that, kind of like this one, and then it'll come across like that. This one is slanted more down, so this one goes like kind of straight across, but this one is more diagonal down. And then we can make that a bit thicker and add some of those JoJo eyelashes going across the top. And then we have his iris in under there, so like a semicircle curving around, and then a pupil in there. And he has those shines again, big ones, one there, one around here. And then we have the bottom eyelashes real big again, coming right across the bottom of that. And then up around, and this time we'll go right up and touch these eyelashes up here. And then we'll make this thick along the bottom. So it curves down around that, and it's going to come back. Make it thick, and then you can add those spiky eyelashes. So you can add little spikes coming off it. All around there. Now, so once we have those two eyes done, we can add eyelids and eyebrows. So we'll stay on this eye, and we'll add just a line in there, just inside at the nose, and then we'll add another one just this side. And then we have an eyelid line just coming up here and back across this way. Do the same over this side, up and across like that. And then he's a big eyebrow here, so it slants up towards his hair that's beside his face, and it curves around like this. And then we'll bring these to a point just here, and then in there he has lines just to show that it's hairy. And then we have a couple of lines just for the inside of the nose just here, and then some under for eyelid just there, coming around this eye like that. So the eyebrow on this side comes up and goes under his hair. So it'll come up this direction, but we'll finish it on the thick end of it. So it comes up and goes around and touches hair. So you can stop it like that. And then you can add some of those hairlines again. And this is going to keep going down now towards his nose. But just to show where that hair is, just so we know, we will put in that line. So it's a curvy line like this. And then it's going to come down kind of towards his eye just there. Now, so his nose. So we have a thin line for his nose that comes down to his nose, which is about here. So we go curved line just down beside that eye, down to there. And then those in that JoJo style, they have fairly defined noses. So we go, it's like a letter M for the top of it. So it goes up, down, back up, and back down this direction. So that's the top of his nose. And then we're going to come around for his nostrils. So we have a side nostril there. And then we have a side nostril here. And then we have the nostrils inside there. So one here, one on this side. So it's curvy line like this and it's dark inside. And then another one on this side, curvy line, and then dark inside again. And then of course we have that line that's in the middle of the nose. So it's like just right there in the middle. Comes around like that. And then we have a couple of lines just along the side, just to show the edge of that nose. Just there. And then of course it's dark and hatched, there's a shadow all in here. In that JoJo style. Now, so we're going to come down a little bit more and we'll do his lips. So JoJo characters have fairly big lips. And so we do the top of his top lip, curved line like that. And this one is going to come down like this. And then down the other side. And you'll notice they sort of end just at the iris, just here, if you draw a straight line up. And on this side as well. And his mouth is kind of half open, so we'll finish the top lip, so it comes back in this way, comes up, there's teeth in here, and this curves up, like that, and then curves back and touches that line we have in there. Now, to show that his mouth is open, we just have to draw a little gap, just in there like that. And then his bottom lip is fairly big, so it's much bigger than his top lip. So we're going to come down like it's like double the top lip, that thick. So, to draw that, you just do a line like this, and then this is going to curve up nearly and touch the edge of his mouth just there, but we'll leave a gap. And then this one will come up that way, and then you can add like hatching lines if you like. Of course, you could just do it with color if you didn't want to do it. I'm doing it from a manga image, so there is some hatched lines, things like that along his lip, his nose, just to show some shadow. And then he has a little shadow underneath that chin, so we'll draw underneath that lip, sorry. So we'll draw a line for that chin, and then this will come up here. And then this will curve around, just following the shape for that. And then you can just add some shadow in there too. Dark shadow under there. Now, so then So then his face, so his jaw, real big jaws on these JoJo characters. So he has the side of his face that comes down here, and then we can see like one big jaw that's here. So if we go up, we'll go back up and do his jaw. So he has a piece of hair that comes down just beside his eye here. So it's gonna come down this way, just beside that eye, and then his jaw is gonna come down just here, just beside his nose, and then we're gonna travel all the way down with that in towards his chin under here. So we get to about here, and then it's gonna curve around this way, and then it's going to travel back up here, and then come up for his jawbone, and it's going to meet another line that's going to go back this way. So we're going to go back now, that way, and then a real pointy jaw chin connection right here. See that? Real pointy. And then in here has some hatching lines too, just for shadow underneath his chin and his jaw. So the JoJo characters, they're pretty complicated dudes to draw. They're kind of, they remind me of like classical sculptures, kind of. I think that they really look like the artist took inspiration from there. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing the side of his face on this side, so coming down from his face to his jaw here, and then he has an ear in here, so a big one. We can see that mostly this ear, real big line like that, and then the bones and ligaments inside. Dark shadow in here, and you could hatch in this as well. So he has, so for his hair, it's coming down from underneath his helmet that he wears when he's riding the horses. So he's bits of hair that come down from underneath that. So we'll do the one just up here first. So coming down from beside his eyebrow. So we're going to do a piece of hair that comes down like this. And this is going to go behind his ear. Like that. And then he's going to have a little piece that comes down just here on his face. And then this will go back up underneath that piece of hair. Then the other side of this piece of hair just comes down this way. And then it'll go back around behind his ear like that. Keep going just around his ear. So then he has little pieces of hair that we can see, lines just in under here, coming up from where his ear would be, just above that, like that. Just lines that show that that's hair, and that's to separate hair from skin. Then there's another piece of hair that comes right up around his ear like this, comes back up and in and around his helmet, so just underneath the helmet, just there, and some lines again to show that it's hair just coming down towards his shoulder, just here. So then he has this line for the helmet that goes across his forehead. So we're going to do it just coming across these pieces of hair. So we're going to go up. He has that, there's a slight bump here for the O that's on the Dio, that's on his helmet. So this comes up, and then it's going to go across the top of his forehead just here. And this is going to curve down like this. And then we've a piece of hair that just sticks out here from underneath. So this becomes like a spiky piece of hair. And this comes back up that way. And now we have the rim of his helmet. So it comes back from this piece of hair, comes all the way up this direction, And we're going to stop here because we're going to meet that O, that big O that he has on his head. So to do that, it's like, it looks like a donut, basically. So coming from this curvy part we did, we're going to curve up. And around, back down. So you're doing like a donut, a zero shape, see that? And then he has the hole that's in the center of it. So you just do that shape again, except smaller. And then there's a shadow and a see-through part just in here. And this is all dark here. So that's the O of the Dio. But we'll finish the rim of his helmet just here. So it comes down on his hair. So it comes down just about to here, and it'll meet some hair that just comes back around his head then again. So we have the rim of his helmet there. Now, so we'll do the D of the Dio, because the eye is behind that. So come over to this side, and we're going to do a diagonal line up this direction. So it goes from about here all the way down to the rim of the helmet. So we're going to go just down to about there. So right up across from that O, and the eye is behind right here. So we're going to curve this around, semicircle, like that. And then he has the semicircle that's similar to here for the D, over here. Then of course you put a shadow and a gap in there, just to show that it's kind of 3D. And then there's a shadow on this side too. So you just make this line thicker. And you could add a little line just coming down here to maybe show that it's got some 3 dimensions to it. And maybe we'll make this one thicker too while we're here. And then we have a curve line just to give it a bit of 3D-ness. That's a word. 3D-ness. Right, the eye. So the eye for Dio is, so it's a capital I and it's going diagonal this way. So we're going to go down, and then we're going to come across, diagonal back that way, and then we're going to do the opposite side just here, and then this one comes across like that, comes down, and then these join together and make the bottom of this thick. And then this one will come up, go diagonal just like here, come up back this way, and then up this way and back to here. And then you can put a thick shadow on this side, coming all the way down. I'll make this one a bit longer actually. And we'll just add maybe some lines just to show that it's maybe popping up a bit there. Now we just have to do a bump just for the top of his cap. The peak of his cap just comes along here, goes back that way, and comes just back the other side of that O. And then we have some sort of those triangle shapes that are on that, coming up, down, up, that way. And then we have the bump that goes behind, so just up behind this eye here. So it's going to go right down towards the rim here. So it'll go all the way to here. And then it's going to have a little bump on it. So we're going to go again. So we're going to go this way. Come around, and it'll go behind that eye just there. And then we have that ridge that's on those horse racing helmets just here. And then this is going to come down behind the O. Now, so we'll finish his hair on this side. So we gotta do just some long pieces of hair coming down, come back up, and you could add some lines inside just to show that it's hair. Smaller one in here, spiking like that, and then in just on between this piece of hair and his cheek we have his ear. So curve line up like that, and then you can add kind of bones and ligaments and things just in here. Much skinnier than this side because his head is kind of turned that way. Right, so he just has some more hair that comes down just on his shoulder. So, do just a curve line there. You could do these any way you'd like. You could place them anyway because hair moves kind of thing. But once you get the general idea of how his hair is sort of shaped, it's pretty easy. So then we have a curve line coming down this way. And then a bit comes down onto his shoulder just here. And then comes back up. That way. And then add some. So you can see what I mean, like it's kind of like a Greek statue. Real chiseled features. And another hairline here. Here, coming up that way. Some more in here. Yeah, so now we can do his collar that just comes along. So it comes from this long piece of hair and touches another long piece of hair here. So I'll draw that hair first. So we curve it down like that, and then bring that back up. And then there's another piece just beside that. And then this curves back up around to here. And this actually piece of hair is kind of quite dark in the picture I'm drawing from, so I'll just shade that in. And it's quite dark in here too. And just here. Add some hairlines on those. And right, so we can do that collar then, just that goes around his neck. So it's kind of polo neck, kind of high yoke going around his neck. High thing. Yoke is that a word most people know? I don't know if it's just Irish. So it just curves around his chin like that. And then we have just some lines for his neck muscles, and there's like a stark shadow in here. And then we got a couple of more lines just for his neck muscles. And there's some more shadow sort of lines in here too. You could do as much of that as you'd like. You don't have to do too much of it. So to finish that polo neck, we just do another line just to show that it's round at the top of it, just there. And then it comes right around the bottom here and comes back up to his shoulder on this side. So we have the hair here, real thick in there for a shadow, and then it joins the bottom of that polo neck and comes all the way. It's real big, curving. It's going to curve right around here, all the way up, right around, and then it's going to go back in here and touch that hair. And then he actually has some more hair that comes down onto it. Just under here. And another little one just there. Maybe some shadow just under there. And there are some vertical lines that come down that polo neck. So just coming down kind of straight, curves around this side, comes down straight, goes all the way across. There's a thick shadow in here. So this is all dark, kind of like the one that's on his neck, just here, so we can't see any lines. Just here, so I'll color that in dark for you. And then there's probably a vertical line just here. And then we jump over the shadow, and then we add some more coming down this way. So curving on the top of that, just here, they curve around the top of that collar to make it show that it's kind of folded, you know, round here. And then they'll come straight down on this side. It can be a bit wobbly because, you know, the polo neck has bumps and stuff on it. And then these ones will start to go up this way, and there's probably some just sort of fold lines and things just here coming up around the rim. Just along the bottom here. That bit thicker. And one just here. You could add some hatching lines in on this side if you'd like, or you could do it with a darker color. But I think what they do in the anime is they have like hatching lines like that, and then they add a color on it as well. So it's up to you really. Then his shoulder, so we have a bump there, bump going off that direction, and then another one that goes off this direction. And then he has just a line for the top of his shoulder, just here, a curved line, just comes this way and travels down into here, and then a line, just kind of a bumpy line for his armpit just there. And then there's a curved line just for the top of his clothes, just here. And then he has all those crisscross marks that are on his riding outfit. So to do those, it's kind of like a net. So start on his shoulder, just coming this way. One goes that way, and it curves over the shoulder there. And then the opposite side will come down here, and then this line will keep going that way. And then we have the other side of that comes this way. And then this one will come down, touch his polo neck. And then we have the other side of that one that comes down. And then this one will go up underneath his hair. So it's kind of like a plus sign or a net sign. This one will come down along his shoulder this way. And curve down there off my page. And then we have the opposite side of that one. Comes down there. And then we have one that then travels up from this one just up here. And then one that goes this direction. And then we have another fold for clothes coming down there. And then we can see none here, we can see one here, just coming down this direction. Two lines there going down, two lines up. Of course, if I go too fast, remember, slow it down. And if you need to use a pencil and eraser, I would suggest use a pencil. It's easier to get rid of mistakes. There's another one just here on the shoulder. And then that goes that way. And then we have one more just here. So of course those lines cover the whole lot at the top of the character, but we can't see that. The one thing we left out are the buttons that hold his chin strap for his helmet. So they're just two squares on the side here. One, down, back in, and then we have a bit of a circle there, and a circle inside, and then over on this side as well. So it's just a box. See that? That's the top, bottom, goes back, and then it has a circle with a smaller circle inside. You can make this side maybe a bit thicker just to give it some shadow. And the strap goes back up under his hair towards his helmet there, and you can colour it in there just so you can see it. And this is dark in here also. And there's just some shadow on this. Yeah, you could add some hatching lines to the side of his face. Of course, you could stop right here and colour. You could add some hatching just in here, just at his eye, like that. If you're really looking for the JoJo style, you know, this sort of dramatic shadow kind of thing. Maybe a little bit here. Here. But yeah, that's the general idea. There he is. Dio Brando. Thanks for watching, guys.